So, Miss Salem Elise, tell us something people would want to know about you.
I have a fluffy white dog named Bo who's sitting with me and barking as he does all day long.
He's so cute. I actually watched your Genius video, and he was just so active in the video too. Super adorable. Let's talk about Mad at Disney, the song that basically catapulted you to #1 everywhere, TikTok. You wrote this song with your boyfriend? So yeah, so what did Disney do to make you guys so mad at them?
So my anger towards Disney is pretty deeply seated. I apparently was also mad at Disney as a child. My parents videos of me singing songs that I'd written that were very similar to Mad at Disney. I was very early talking about, how you have to break the spell by yourself and no prince is going to come save you. And I've always kind of had that mentality where, princesses aren't really in need of saving. There's no damsel in distress because women are independent and we don't need a relationship to be happy. So I guess that independence is kind of what made me so angry, because the stereotypes that are being shown, especially in the movies that I grew up watching when I was super young, so all the classic princess movies kind of show the princesses as, in need of saving. And I just thought that was And also, they only show one type of love, which is the grand fairy tale type of love.
You're right.
Problems and no fighting. And, my boyfriend and I obviously know that we love each other deeply, but there's always problems and there's always some fighting, but still love.
Yeah, that's a good point that you pointed out, because you mentioned Cinderella getting divorced. Even though you're referencing Disney princesses who have had happy endings, you bring up real life issues that actually take place, and I thought that was brilliant songwriting, by the way. Brilliant. Yeah. So speaking about your songwriting, you mentioned in the song "I've Been Hurt, Love" by the word love, and it was a reference to an old song, Bad Word. Are you still scared to say the L word?
But I was definitely terrified to say it to my boyfriend. At the beginning. Yeah, I think he was the first person I ever said it to in a relationship.
Really? How long have you guys been together, if you don't mind me asking?
We've been together 2.5 years as of next month.
That is awesome. Congrats. Awesome. You also mentioned that the best definition of love is not a feeling, but it's a combination of different emotions. Tell us how you came about to that conclusion.
That came from a conversation that we had during the session, me and Bendik and Jason, the other writer on we wanted to define love, because every time we looked it up or really thought about it, we couldn't come up with a very succinct definition. And then we started talking about what love meant to us and, all the different ways we can experience it. And the best way we could define it is a combination of every feeling and not actually its own feeling. Because, everyone feels sadness in a similar way. Yeah. Everyone knows what it's like to feel happiness. But when you say, what does love feel like? There's, a million different answers. You're
so right. Everybody's got their different definition of it, and I think your definition is I can relate to that. So let's talk about the music video. I just saw it a million times while I was getting ready today. It's so fun. It's super eclectic. So tell us about it. What was going through your head when you came up with that video, and what was behind the big ears?
Yeah, it was super, super fun to make. What we wanted to do in that video is take a bunch of Disney stereotypes, like the big ears and, the prince on the white horse, and kind of flip them on their head a little bit. So, for example, I was a knight in shining armor sitting on the moon, prince, and then at the end, I was the one sitting on the horse. And I had these gigantic ears on, even though I was Rapunzel at one point, trapped in the tower. The ears, it's a funny story, actually, because so they were glued onto me, which took, an hour and a half, I would say, to glue them on and then paint them to match me. And before we started filming anything. So at the very top of the day. And we realized after we filmed the first scene that the ears were going to take a very long time to unglue from my face. So we decided that it was actually probably the smartest move to just keep them on. But originally, to only use them for one scene. And then we just decided, because they looked so cool, we were like, we'll just keep them on the whole video. And I'm really glad we did.
Yeah, I'm really glad you did too. It was so unique, so different. And you took me to like your own little like Disney world in that video, so big ups for that. I want to talk about your songwriting though. You have mentioned that you have performed at such a young age. At 9 years old, you performed a song that you wrote. You took songwriting classes at 10. So how, and now you're like 21. How have you evolved since then in terms of being creative, being an artist, being a songwriter?
Oh boy, so much.
Because you still wrote about fairy tales and stuff back then. So
yeah, it's funny. I've always been a very lyric-oriented songwriter. Words are just my favorite thing. I have so much fun, playing with them and arranging them, and finding new ways to say things that people have already said before.
Yeah,
it's just do, and it has been, since I was 9. But I definitely, my sound overall has changed so much in my process. When I was younger, I used to think that songwriting was this magic that happened when inspiration struck and you could only do it at certain times when you got inspired from, something.
Yeah.
But now I've learned, thanks to Berklee, actually, I think the biggest thing that Berklee College of Music taught me is that you can songwrite on command. It is like any other job. As long as you practice it enough and you do it enough, you can sit down and write a song at any point in time. And I write every single day, even when I'm not feeling the most, naturally inspired.
Yeah.
They're just to
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, at such a young age, you have I think you're really owning your craft. Do you see yourself writing music for other artists in the future, possibly?
Yeah, I'm trying to do that now as well. I've been having basically a session a day on Zoom right now because we're still in quarantine.
Yeah.
I've been trying to divide it up pretty evenly between working on my own artist projects, writing songs for me, and also writing songs for other artists and meeting more artists and trying to help evolve their sound as well. That's really fun for me.
Cool. I really look forward to that, and seeing you work on other artists. It's really something to write not only for yourself, but as for other artists, you really have to put yourself in their shoes. So kudos to that. So if someone who doesn't know who Salem Ilese is wanted to get to know you, which song would you have them listen to?
Oh, that's a good question. Does it have to be a released song?
Oh no, it's you can talk about your unreleased songs.
A little bit about an unreleased song. I have a song called Lonely Child.
Ooh,
it's spelled parentheses, Only Child, and it's basically about me being an only child, which I feel like right there describes a lot of my personality. I feel like growing up as an only child definitely made me the person I am. So probably that one. And I'm hoping that it'll be out in the world at some point next year. So stay tuned.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that so much. Like, you are really such a breakout artist, especially from your song Mad at Disney, and I'm really looking forward to more songs. I've become such a fan. Like, I just watched your video Coke and Mentos. And I gotta say, like, who didn't do Coke and Mentos, right? So it was such a good reference and such a fun take on what could you share about a little bit about Coke and Mentos?
Yeah, that was a really fun one. I also did that with my boyfriend Bendick, and a different Jason worked on the production.
Okay.
Jason. And we thought of that concept from a card game that Bendick, my boyfriend, and I invented for songwriters because we're super nerdy. the way the card game works is we shuffle a playlist, and we do this a lot during long car rides, road trips, and stuff because we visit my family in San Francisco all the time. So we put on a playlist, and then we look at the title of the song that comes on, and then we have until the end of that song to think of a different concept that relates to the title. So I remember React by the Pussycat Dolls came on, and I immediately thought React, reaction, chemical reaction, science class, Coke and Mentos. And then I said, oh, we touch Mentos. And I won the round, and we wrote the song a few months later.
That's genius. And now there's a super cute music video out, so guys, go check it out. So last two questions for you before we call this a day. What's next for you? Can we expect an album?
Definitely at some point, yes. I have so much unreleased music. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to package it all right now. Organize all of it. I wish I could just release, an 100-song album tomorrow. I totally would. So much stuff there. But before the end of the year, I have another song, or a little surprise coming in December.
Oh, yay. Awesome. Great. It's actually my birthday on December, so this is like the best birthday present ever. Thank you. Great. So last but not least, what is your message to your Malaysian fans? You're super big here, by the way. Everybody loves you here.
Malaysia, thank you so much for all of the support. It completely baffles me, and I'm so grateful. I love seeing all the videos you guys create and seeing how Mad at Disney has inspired you. It really means the world. So thank you.
Thank you so much for your time, and you stay safe and take care.
Thank you. You too. Have a great one.
Fly FM.